the Spartans, man. We're not just a nickname. It is who we are. It is our character. It's what we stand for. It's all about how we respond.
Hey there, Spartan fans. Welcome to this week's edition of Grind to Shine, a season with Alexander Football. I'm Nathan Wiseman, joined again by Patrick Klinger. And Pat, the non-conference schedule's over, so now it's my favorite time of the year when the TVC teams get to go at it.
That's right, and you know, the Spartans can work on that foundation that they set over the last 3 weeks. And last Friday, they battled against a physical potential playoff team in Sciotoville East. So let's take a look back at some of those highlights from last week's game. The Spartans getting themselves all hyped up before the game for their first road contest, and we'll jump to 4 minutes into the first quarter. Scoreless, Kyle Flannery is going to take it to the outside and fumble, and Chase Harris is right there to pick it up, and he's going to get himself going on this next drive. He bounces it to the outside, makes a couple guys miss for a 19-yard gain, and Nathan, that really got the momentum going.
Yeah, that Spartans had the momentum on their side there, so Coach Penrod tried a little trickery. Ethan Howe's laterals to AJ Marks, who heaves it all the way into the end zone for a wide-open Chase Harris, so touchdown right, but no, a holding penalty takes the points back. Score remains 0-0. So now 3 minutes, 57 seconds left in the second quarter. East with the ball, Deshaun Martin just getting past all the Spartan defenders and will eventually get taken down by Ethan House.
Yeah, it's still scoreless, Nathan, right at the end of the half. Exactly what you don't want for the Spartans. Drew Lowe is going to find his man in the back of the end zone for an 18-yard touchdown, and the Tartans would take a 7-0 lead into the halftime break, really deflating the Spartans' momentum that they had all half. But AJ Marks is going to take this opening kickoff in the third quarter to the sidelines, picks up a few blocks, and he's taking it all the way into the red zone for the Spartans. But however, they would not get any points out of this one, Nathan.
Yeah, no points there, but later in the quarter, near the end of the third, low snap, but that's all right because AJ just takes it right up the middle, getting past the East defenders for the touchdown. So the Spartans still trail by 1, 7-6, but Coach Penrod decides to go for 2, and they get it. So the Spartans with the 8-7 lead late in the third quarter. So now let's go to the beginning of the fourth quarter. Brown taking the ball for a 33-yard touchdown run as East goes up 15-8 at this point.
Yeah, and in the last chance for the Spartans with 59 seconds left, 4th and 5, but the Spartans just can't convert, and that is going to be the second loss in a row for the Spartans. All right, Coach, I want to take a little bit of time, quick second here, to talk about last week's game. And for the first time all season, you know, penalties were a big factor for you guys. So, you know, what do you think happened out there?
Just a lot of little things that continue to just hobble us a little bit. Just little things here and there, whether it's penalties, it's missed assignments, it's missed tackles. It's all the little things that add up to not putting us in that win column. Kind of like what we had talked about with our double pass, though. That's a penalty that goes in the books, but it's something that we worked on for a few weeks now, and really we ran it to perfection. And AJ had a nice throw. It was blocked up well. Then Chase has a tremendous finger tip catch, but it comes back to one hold call, which we can probably question, and all Spartan fans can question, but that's part of the game. You're not always going to get things to go your way, and things we've talked about is adversity and how we respond to those things, and I think that we did a tremendous job facing adversity and continue to fight for each other, and unfortunately it just didn't come in the win column, but we're still making those positive strides for us, I think.
Certainly, and after the game, former standout Mason Chapman was addressing the team, and you know, he said, you know, he sees how hard the guys are working every single week. They just don't know how to finish a football game and get that win. So coming up this week in practice, you know, how do you teach these guys just how to finish a football game?
It just really comes back to what we did in 2-a-days when you guys were there. It's some of our competition type drills is when it's one-on-one, who has the want to be able to finish things, who has that drive, determination. And we were in the football game and had an opportunity to win, unlike week 1 where we knew we were going to, or not knew, but we won a game handily. Week 2, lose a game handily. So we finally get one of those just close football games, and you have these tune-up games kind of for right now, which is week 4, and it started the conference, and none other than the Athens Bulldogs, but continually just trying to instill in our kids and understand the importance of one play matters. And it might not just be the fourth quarter play, but could be a second down play in the second quarter, what could make the difference between the win and the loss.
Yeah, and Coach, I've been meaning to ask you this for a while. I know we've talked about it a little bit, but never in a formal interview setting here. So I'm wondering, why do you wear the sunglasses every Friday night? I mean, it's dark. It's got to be terribly hard for you to see. Is it the fact that you don't want people to know what you're thinking, or is it an intimidation factor? You know, what is it?
It's more of a comfort thing, I think, kind of like you see Marshawn Lynch and he wants to wear the visor, those type of things. But really it came back to the first game I ever coached there in '06, long time ago, and I had sunglasses on. I got prescription sunglasses and forget my glasses at home. Well, so I'm wearing my sunglasses all night long, and it's just one of those things that stuck, and just don't do it to stand out or stick out or to intimidate anything. It's just one of those comfort things now.
Yeah, it's kind of become a signature look. I think it makes you look tough, but that's just me. And Coach, I don't know how many people really know about this, but every Sunday you have your entire coaching staff come over, and you guys create that game plan for the next week. So, you know, what's it like to have all of these guys come over and crash the party every Sunday?
Well, I enjoy it because we not only game plan, but we also get to hang out a little bit and just kind of just throw some of the football stuff out of there a little bit. And we'll turn on Madden, we'll watch the Sunday Ticket now with NFL season on now, talk some college football, those type of things. And so on my side of it, I definitely think it needs done. I'd say my wife probably sometimes disagrees, but we got Coach Canby's girl to come over, Jess, and she helps out and babysits a little bit for us though. But it's just nice to be able to get together and one, talk about football, but two, also just other parts of things too, and that's what life's about.
Yeah, absolutely. And now looking ahead a little bit, you know, where conference play is upon us. You know, you guys are 0-0 now, and a championship runs through Albany. You know, you guys are the defending TVC Ohio champions. So what can Spartan Nation expect from you and the team come TVC Ohio play?
If they watch our game on Friday, they know that we're going to be a physical running football team, and we're going to continue to get after it on the defensive side too. And Coach Saunders puts together a great game plan, and now our kids are finally learning how to play a little bit and what it takes. And our big thing is to be able to finish there in the fourth quarter, and it starts here now, week 4 against the Athens Bulldogs. Like you said, it's 0-0. It comes down to how bad do we want it, and it's not going to happen just on Friday, but it's going to start up tomorrow right after school, and how we prepare for the whole week. We got to step it up a bit, and I know our young men are going to be ready for the challenge.
And finally, you know, speaking of Athens, that's a game that you circle on the calendar every single year. So, you know, even your short career here as the coach at Alexander, just can you tell me just how special is this rivalry between Athens and Alexander?
Well, you have that little 8-mile separation, I'd say, between the two schools, and it's one of those predetermined circles on the schedule where now we're finally getting back to be able to play football and be a tough competitor there for the Bulldogs, and we know it's going to be a special game because you get a lot of Athens County there, and you got the Bulldog Nation, you got Spartan Nation, and a lot riding on it. We've won the last 4 or 5, I think, conference championships between the two schools. So everything this year is going to come through us, and it all starts here in a few days.
It's certainly going to be a game to look forward to. Coach, I think this is 4 interviews down and maybe about 6 to go.
Let's go 6 or 7.
That's right. So again, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Patrick.
On Friday nights, you might see Ethan House celebrate after a big sack. While the other days of the week, he's celebrating when he gets an engine to run in his grandpa's garage. His passion for football and fixing cars that he shares with his family makes their bond even stronger. So Ethan, I know outside of football you love getting in the garage, working on cars. How long have you been doing that?
I think I've been doing this ever since I was born, coming in here just in diapers, working and helping my grandfather out working on these cars.
How much fun do you have building that relationship with your brother and grandpa and everyone, building in the garage?
The relationship is like the strongest bond that you possibly want to have with your family. It's something that you can do that involves your entire family, because they know they're going to have your back if anything goes wrong with anything like that.
Outside of just working on cars, you do a little racing, right, too? How much fun is that?
That's a blast, being a part of that other team outside of football. It's, you know, you're working with other guys that are way older than you, and you get to enjoy the experience of a lifetime.
So what do we have right here behind us?
This is my truck, 1972 Chevy C10, short bed, 2-wheel drive.
All right.
Other than that, it's very special to me because it's the sentimental value that my grandfather gave to me, so it's just a very special thing to have in my life.
How long have you guys been kind of fine-tuning this, working on it?
Fine-tuning this since last year, start of the football season.
I know that you just turned 15 a few months ago. Yeah. It's still a couple months away from getting that permit, you know, being such a car fanatic. How excited are you to get that permit and license pretty soon and get out on the road with this?
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait. You know, this thing is just nagging at me every time. I think one thing's done here, you gotta go back and fix it. But knowing that I can have it done the right way and the way I want it, just waiting to get to drive it's a big thing. Speaking
of only being 15, when you were just 14 last year as a freshman, you were playing a good amount of varsity time. You got in some of those big games, the playoff games. How much did playing last year get you ready to step into the role you're in this year?
I know the last 2 games that Coach P changed my position from free safety to Mike linebacker, which is where I'm at now. That really helped me progress, so now I can help other kids out and I can maintain our defense.
I always see you stepping up as a leader, you know, even though you're not a captain. I feel like you pretty much are, because you're always getting on guys, telling them to focus on the little things. Where does that come from? Do you kind of just see yourself stepping into that role when it needs to be done?
Yeah, I felt like since last year, I felt like I was the guy to go to that needed to push everybody else, and working on these things, the little things, that's the drive and that's the passion that we all look forward to.
When you get on that field, man, I feel like you turn into another person. I see you sacking guys all the time. You know, where does that come from? How do you turn into the kind of quieter Ethan into the beast on the field?
You know, it's just a switch that I can control. You know, you have to have that one go-to energy and anger all the time versus you have to be set and focused. This is not on the field. This is out there in the community, so you have to represent yourself.
Switching gears a little bit here, I know something near and dear to your heart is raising awareness for epilepsy. So how important is that message to you? Can you kind of tell me that story?
Yeah, my buddy Andrew, he's having a car show on the 1st of October, so we're trying to have this one done and that one done over there to take it out and raise a little bit extra money for him.
Speaking of that community, I'm sure they're going to be out to support for this big game against Athens on Friday night. You know, Athens not too far away, a pretty heated rivalry between the Spartans and Bulldogs. How excited are you for that game? What do you think the Spartans need to do to get that win?
I think we need to stay humble, but we also have to stay hungry. Like, we have our mistakes and fault, and that's where we'd get lackadaisy. But if we stay humble and get out of our heads, I think we'll be okay.
As a fan, you see 48 minutes of football every Friday night. But there's a lot more that goes into a team's 4-quarter performance. This Alexander coaching staff recognizes that, rewarding one player every week as an honorary team captain. It's all about preparation, from week to week, getting ready for that next opponent. But for the 2016 season, the Alexander coaching staff is trying something new. Each week, one player is rewarded as the practice player of the week and is named an honorary team captain for the upcoming matchup.
We decided the team needed a little bit of a boost this year, needed some morale booster, and we had a lot of kids sign up for the captaincy and some that didn't make it. And this is a good way to get those ones to show them that, you know, they can build their way there, but you gotta spring it and practice every week, show us what you can do.
Senior linebacker Alex Stalter loves the new wrinkle in practice. Although Stalter is a full-time team captain, he knows that places even more pressure on him to perform.
Yeah, that comes with being named a team captain. You know you have to work like extra hard to set that example to all those younger kids and the kids that aren't a captain really, and that they need to work hard to be successful.
In order to be rewarded as an honorary team captain, an individual must clearly separate themselves from the rest. The criteria set by the coaching staff involves excellence on and off the field.
First off, we start with our 4 pillars: character, commitment, discipline, respect. We look to see who's doing the week is showing those through school and through practice. And then we look at who is jumping in on scout team, who is doing the right assignment, who is prepping the guys up, who is getting everybody riled up to go, let's go.
We're only as good as our scout team is, so if you have everybody on the scout team busting their tails because they want to get that honorary captain, if you have them doing that, then that helps our varsity, the team that we put out there Friday night, makes us way better.
Hey! Seriously, boys! Hey, that's better than we've had all week. Let's keep that energy all day today. All day. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Anyone who has ever been a high school student athlete knows that over the course of a long season, it can be tempting to take a day off. However, this practice system assures players that the coaches are always watching.
It definitely makes you accountable, makes you feel that you have to be accountable because at every second you're being watched, everything you do is being watched, and it just makes you want to be accountable for everything that you do during practice, makes you want to work hard during practice so you can impress them.
Coaches and players agree on one simple thing. Competing for an honorary captain role pushes everyone to the limit, resulting in a better performance on game day.
If you're getting challenged and you're getting challenged to work harder, that makes you a better player and even a better person to begin with, and you just need to be challenged at all times, and if you got all 11 guys on the other side doing that, then that helps you for Friday night.
It's only going to make us better, every individual better. If we got a freshman pushing a senior, we're going to have a better team as a result of it, and it's going to help us down the line the next few years as well. Everybody's going to keep building up and keep getting better and better as more experience grows.
Two familiar faces have already claimed their spot this season. Sophomore Ethan Howes and senior James Wallace. And for the remainder of the fall, be ready to recognize a different player every Friday night.
Alexander welcomes the Athens Bulldogs to town, so what better way to preview this game than bring in our good friend Winston Wilcox from Ohio University at the Post. So Winston, you reported the other day that Brendan Sano will likely be the starting quarterback. Is that still true, and what's kind of your impressions of him so far this season?
That's correct. Well, I went to practice today, talked to Coach Ryan Adams, and he does not have an answer on who's going to be the starting quarterback. So he said he'll have an answer for us in a couple of days. But in terms of Sano at quarterback, I mean, if he does start, he played quarterback last season, has more experience than Trace, and then he came out, last weekend. He didn't miss a beat. It was his first official start. He came in, he passed the ball efficiently, ran the ball efficiently. I think he had 4 touchdowns to his name. The dude moved the ball really well, did a good job. So if he does get the start, I mean, he should be, a cool player to watch, out here against Alexander.
Yeah, there's definitely no doubting his athleticism. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him play a few times. The guy's got some talent, for sure. And so, Winston, I mean, earlier in practice this week, Coach Penrod was telling us that, the Athens offensive and defensive front is perhaps one of the biggest and most experienced group that they'll see all season long. So, how would you evaluate that core group in the trenches so far this season?
I just mentioned Brandon Sano at quarterback. Well, the man plays defensive end as well. So if he doesn't get the nod at quarterback, he'll most likely play defensive end. He's definitely somebody to watch out for. The offensive line, I think they've given up, right around 5 sacks, if that. I mean, they definitely hold their blocks as well, and their quarterbacks get out the pocket as well when they see the pressure. So that's not a problem. They got mobile quarterbacks. They've got a decent offensive line, very strong defensive front. They got Brody Ball back, who had 2 great, phenomenal sacks that sealed the game against Watkins Memorial last week. So having him back, along with Sano, if he plays up front with him as well on defensive front, would definitely be probably Athens' benefit. 2
other dominant guys in this game, no secret, are AJ Marks and Chase Harris, the 2 quarterback duos at Alexander. It's no secret that they like to run the ball a lot. Has Athens faced a team like Alexander so far? And if so, or if not, how do you think that they can defend against 2 dominant guys like AJ and Chase?
They haven't faced an offense that deals with 2 quarterbacks, but they have faced an offense that is very run heavy, in which you have a dual threat quarterback at Canal Winchester, and you have a dual threat running back. It's gonna be, an interesting game, to see how they face the dual quarterback scenario. Because they haven't seen that yet this season, but they have faced 3 very run-heavy teams.
And Nathan, as we heard at practice today, every time, the coaches are talking about, every time these 2 teams meet, it's smash-mouth football. Both teams can run and again make plays, so it's going to be one to watch. So Winston, I guess to sort of get down to it, if you were to pick out one key to this game for Athens to come on the road and get a victory, what would it be?
It would honestly have to be if Brandon Sano was on that defensive front. I mean, because he is a sight to see when he gets out there on defense and makes the plays. Mm-hmm. And having Brody Ball alongside of him, who missed the first couple of games recovering from an injury, came back the 3rd game and, made 2 phenomenal plays. I think he finished with, 2 or 3 tackles in addition to that. having them on either side complementing each other. Those are the two guys to watch out on the defensive end.
Absolutely, and they could pose some problems for this Spartan offense. Who, for one key for the Spartans this week, something they really struggled with last week was punching it in once they get into the red zone. They struggled with that against Sciotoville East, and they're going to have to put up points against the Bulldogs if they want to come away with the win. So Winston, we appreciate the insight. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks Pat and thanks Winston. So guys, big matchup this week. Athens coming into Alexander to face the Spartans. So to get you pumped up, we made a little hype video for you guys. Check it out.
My everything.
My everything.
Or nothing.
Or nothing.
We're gonna fight.
We're gonna fight.
Till we can't fight anymore.
Till we can't fight anymore.
We'll get beat down.
We'll get beat down.
And bleed a while.
And bleed a while.
Then we'll get back up.
And we'll get back up.
And fight some more.
And fight some more.
And fight some more.
And fight some more.
Fight some more.
And fight some more.
Fight some more.
And fight some more.
This concludes episode 4 of Grind to Shine, but don't worry, the fun doesn't stop here. We're giving you the chance to be the reporter and ask Coach Penrod a personal question next week during our edition of Penrod's Place. So keep a lookout on our Spartan Endzone Facebook page on Saturday for a status, and we'll pick our favorite one.
Yeah, we'll be right back again next week, September 22nd, to break down the showdown with Athens. So until then, we'll see you next time.